Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with Me, and we're going to do Margerete Miller's challenge today. This is number 41. I have so many people ask me where I got this journal or this book. It's a Collage week planner. I got this from Margerete Miller off of her Etsy store, and it is CW Planner. That's the name of it right there. I don't know if she still has them. I got mine back at the first of the year. But it's Margerete, Margarete, Miller, Miller. She also has a YouTube channel, but I got it off of her store on Etsy. I ordered it the first of the year. This is 2021 calendar. So we're going to do this. This is CW Planner 41, a tool, a doll, or a toy, something cold, a playing card, sheet music, and bonus is security envelope design. Now that's the only thing I didn't pull, but I've got some right over there so I can grab those. I'm going to start out with this sheet music. This is something that I got in my order from Junk Journal. Let me look. No, Steampunk Dragonfly. That's who I got this from. I got this in my package. I ordered some dyed paper from her, and I got this in the package, and it's just like a collage sheet of sheet music, so I thought this would be good to use. So I'm going to use a piece of this over here. I think right there's where I want to tear it. Hopefully I'm tearing it straight. I'm not sure, but who cares? You know, it's our book, it's mine, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to move some things over. I got things that are in my way. Alright, so there's my sheet music right there. And then I'm going to probably put a couple of pieces over here. I don't know. I also have this out of the vintage grit story section, and this came to me in Happy Mail this week. So one of the things was a doll or a toy, and the only thing I could find is right here. There's a little doll in there, and I was trying to see if there was anything else on here. No, I think I'm just going to cut that out. Well, you know what? I could just put, let's see, I could put it in there like that and just use this whole piece, because this is a very old, you can see it just tears. When I try to bend it, it just tears. So this is very, very old. I think, let's see what year. Well, it doesn't say on here, but I think the front said like 1914 maybe, or something like that. I don't know. But this came in Happy Mail this week, so I thought I would preserve it by putting it in my journal. And then I'll use the other part of that in more of my journals. I love the dark, dark, dark color of this. And this piece on this side, I'm going to try to save and use to stamp on. Won't that make some pretty stamps? So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and tear off a little of this bottom too. That'll be pretty to stamp on too. Can't pick it up, but it'll be pretty. So those will go there. And then I need something else down here. Now for the tool, I found this. This is an old steampunk tool from many, many moons ago. And that's probably more like an engine or something than a tool, but this is it. This is what I found. So I think I'll put that there, and I'm just going to mark where I need to tear it. There, and right there. Okay. And this is out of some of the packages of vellum that we sell. I don't, let's see, I was trying to see if we had more. I'm not sure. You just have to check in the store, and you can just do a search for vellum, and it'll pop up anything that we have that's vellum. Okay, and that goes good with that brown paper, so I like that. I don't want to cover this up, but I do want to put a little something right there. So I may just bring in another little piece of this. Look at that. I love that number on there. I think I'll add that there and then this here. All of this is very vintage, so that'll work. All right, I'm going to start inking. I am going to ink around mine. That's not something that you have to do. But I don't know, the ink just to me finishes things off, and especially when it's vintage and old. Okay, I've got a piece of my sticker backing here. And I'm just going to use my glue stick. And hold on just a second and I'll get this back in the camera. I gotta move things. I have been doing videos all day, so my desk is a mess. Okay, now we can pull this back in camera. There we go. Okay, so let's put that down. And I have a card over here somewhere. Okay. Now I'll ink around this piece very carefully and put it down because this will tear big time. But boy, it soaks up the ink. Looks pretty. Okay. Now hopefully I can go very carefully on here and get it glued up, but I'm gonna have to go real slow because this will tear. So there's our doll, and then this piece I want to put right there. I like that number on it. Just fill in that gap where I cut that other paper a little bit short. I could have left it longer, but I didn't. I cut it too short. Okay, and then this we're gonna put down right there. This vellum takes ink really well too. This is a pretty thick vellum. We've sold tons of this. They come in little books. I don't even have the little book on my desk anymore, but they come in books. So it's quite a few sheets. And they're pretty large. Well, you saw how big that one was that I tore this off of. But like I said, you'll just have to do a search if you want to see if we have any more of it, because I'm not 100% sure. Right now, I don't have time to check inventory. Melina does that, so. Okay, then it said a playing card either side. So I've got this. I also have that. So, since this is kind of vintagey here, I might put that there, but I am going to distress it quite a bit because it looks too white and too new. And this, everything on this page except this is something that you guys have sent me. Okay, I'm going to put a crease in there and then ink over that crease. That makes it look even older. So there we go. We'll put that down there. Okay, and then I have this bingo card, and I consider that a playing card. I mean, you play bingo, so, and you have to have a card to play bingo. Now this is a, I don't know if I put that down or not though. This is a purplish color. Maybe I won't. All right, I'm gonna lay that aside for a minute. I've got some other things here that I can use. You know, the thing of it is when you're not looking for stuff, you can find it. But when you're looking for things, it's like you can't find anything. Now, something cold, I've got this snowman paper, and I also have this got snowflakes in it, this a snow globe, and then I have a few little stickers, and I thought about using these stickers because those are actually gears, but they're made for like winter time when it's snowing. So I think I'll use some of those because I haven't used them anywhere else. I've had these for a few years. So they're like those old vintage gears. I think I'll use that one there. And I think this will match a little bit better than that blue. Just don't think that blue's gonna go with our page. I did think about bringing in that since we're talking about music pages. Let's see. Let me put that there for a minute. I think I will. I don't have another place to use these, and I've had these for quite a while. So, since it was talking about music pages and things like that, I thought I might just go ahead and put this on there. Just to stress it up. Let's see. I think I'll put him there. And that's another tool. That's actually a musical tool, but it's a tool. Okay, now we can bring in this little tool, that little gear, and this gear, and they have little tiny snowflakes on them. I know that doesn't show real well there, but let's see. Got one more right here, a little tiny one, tiny one. And I think I'll just drop that one right there. Now, I think I may have to use some of this paper. I think I'm going to cut this out and use it, a snow globe. I know a snow globe itself is not necessarily cold, but snow is cold. This has got snow in it, so I guess I'll pull that in. I hate to pull blue in here, though, and I really don't have a lot of blue in, but got that little piece there. So, and then this is the first tool that I found. This is a scale. It's an old vintage scale, and I found it in an old sticker book that I had. I'll tell you, some days searching for this stuff is easier than others. I think I'll just put that right there. Now, how are we going to incorporate these? Maybe like that? Okay, I think I'll just ink around these and put them down. Now, stay tuned after this, because we're going to do another series on our, because we're going to do another series on journal pages, unusual journal pages, to add in your journals. It's going to be something different. And we're going to try to do those after each one of these videos, because usually these don't take us that long. And so we're going to try to do unusual journal pages after each one of these. Okay, so let's see. We've got a tool, a doll, or a toy, doll. Something cold, we've got snow. A playing card, we got that. Sheet music. And security envelope design. Okay, let me grab a security envelope. Okay, I'm just going to go with a piece of this one. Save that other piece to make some things with. So this is one design that you can get in security envelopes. And there's quite a few different designs. So now I don't want very much of this. Just want a little bit somewhere, just to say that I put it on there. Let me think. I know what I'll do. I know what I'll do. Hopefully this will punch this. I will punch some little flowers out of this. I don't want to just put down just a piece of this. I don't think it'll look right, but we'll just punch some little flowers out. Really, they're little scallops, and we'll use these kind of like a snow fall, like little snowdrops. Instead of raindrops, we got snowdrops. And I think we'll have to go ahead and put a few over here just to make it look right. Whoops, that one didn't punch out too great. Okay, I'm going to ink around these just a tiny bit, just so they'll stand out from the page. These can represent snow. Right, now let's see where we want to glue these. That's the question. I think I'm going to put this one on this page, actually. I'm just going to put it over that diamond ring because we don't want to see that. We might want one. And I'm going to put one up there at the very top of the page. Put one right there. This one evidently wants to be tucked under there because that's the second time that it's gone under there. So we're going to put it there. And let's see, that's 3 on that page, 2 over here. So we need to put one more over here. Let's just put him up there at the top. And I think I'll hang him off a little bit like that. Okay, I'm just going to drop one more right down here. And we'll trim this one off a little bit. Okay, so now we've got that. So we've got everything, all of our prompts on here. Looks a little bit helter-skelter, but that is the whole purpose of the prompts. It's just to pull them in regardless of what you think it might look like in the end. I mean, I don't think it's horrible, but it's not one of my favorite. But, you know, it's kind of hard to pull music page and snow and all of that together. Or it is for me. It might not be for everybody. But that is it. We've got all of the prompts. So that is week 41 on Margerete Miller. This is this week right here. So we will be catching up on this one probably. This will probably go up on Thursday, so probably on Saturday or Sunday we'll do this one. Now, stay tuned because we're going to put together some really unusual pages for our journal. Okay, so as promised, we're going to do some new page ideas. Now, I thought about working with these papers. These are from SWME Vintage, but I'm trying to think. I don't want these covered up so much. I could work with the backs of them, I guess. This one, it wouldn't hurt to work with the back because I would still have this on the other side. Just trying to think which way would be the best. Now, this is a little bit crinkly, so I'm thinking that we'll work with this one because it's a little bit flatter, and I need a flatter piece to do this. And then we'll find another one to do the other page. Now, this is an old paper pad. Well, I'll say old. It was first of the year paper pad. I do not have any more. They have discontinued it. So you can work with any paper that you have. But I'm going to make mine with this, I think. I just got to decide which page now. That's going to be the issue. I'm thinking about this one. Kind of like that. Let me flip through real quick and see if there's one that I'd rather use. Okay, it'll be one of these. I think so. Yeah, okay. I'm going to put that aside. I'm not going to keep flipping because I'll keep changing my mind over and over. But now I'm thinking that it's going to be this one. I don't know, though. That one's spaced out. Nope. It's going to be this one. Okay. Now we have to fold this because this is going to be a page for our journal. And this is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. And if I will put SWME Vintage, I'll put their Etsy shop down below. Go over and check them out. I love, love, love their papers. They're gorgeous. I'm just trying to decide. I have not made one of these before, so this is going to be brand spanking new. So I've got to decide exactly what I'm going to do here. Okay. I think I have it in my mind. What I need to do here is instead of drawing a pencil line, what I'm going to do is fold that again, and I'm just going to put a little ink down the middle of it so I can see that line. There we go. Now I can see that line without any problem. All right, what I'm going to do now, this piece right here is almost 5.5 by 8.5. So what I need to do is cut a piece of this that is about maybe a 1/2 inch shorter all the way around. So my scientific way of measuring that is just to do this. I think that will work. I just hate to measure. I don't know about anybody else, but That's just not one of my favorite things to do. Now I need my big trimmer. I seem to waste time when I measure because I start figuring it up in my head, and then I figure it up, and then I cut, and then sometimes I cut wrong. So I find sometimes marking with a pencil, cutting like that, is my best bet. Okay, now I'm going to cut that right there. And I'm cutting a little bit on the outside of the line just in case, you know, I might have marked it a little wrong or something. I think that's going to work right there. I'm trying to decide which side I want to use. It really doesn't matter. It's all going to basically show, but I think I'll use this side, just like I started to. Now, I'm going to keep it away from my fold here because I want to be able to use this. What this is going to be is a door. It's going to be a door that will open up and reveal, you know, either a picture or something really pretty on the inside. You'll have journaling space here. So what we need to do now is we need to score this. And I'm going to score it at, oh, let's see. What am I going to score it at? Maybe 3/8 of an inch. I think that's going to be plenty. I don't want to score it too much. Where are you? There you are. So 3/8 of an inch will be plenty, I do believe. And we'll go ahead and pre-fold this. Now, I will let you know, on this paper, it cracks a little bit. I didn't score on both sides like I normally do on a paper that cracks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reinforce that a little bit with maybe just some, I may put tape on it. You could put tape on there. You could put washi on there. You could put another piece of tea-dyed paper on it. Trying to figure out what I might use. I may just use this. Now, that's a little bit thick. I think I'll just reinforce it with some washi. That will make sure that it, you know, stays together and I don't have to worry about it coming apart. Okay, let's just use this one. Doesn't have to exactly match, but I wanted to get something pretty close. Now, if you have a paper that doesn't crack, and you don't have any problem with it cracking when you score it, then you don't have to worry about doing this. This paper just, it's a little bit thick, and when I score it, if I don't score on both sides and then just kind of work it back and forth, it will crack on me. And I didn't even think about it when I was scoring. So, no problem. All we're gonna do is just put some washi there, and it will still fold back and forth, but it'll have some reinforcement. Yeah, that'll work. And that washi's pretty sticky, so I don't have to put anything on there. Okay, all right. Now let's figure out how we want to do this. I think I want to round these corners just because I think it'll look a little bit better. So I'm going to round the corners. And I need my little bucket here. I don't know why I get the little bucket, because my little giblets fly everywhere anyway. So, and then I'm definitely going to do some inking around it. And I think this paper would go in just about any journal. I don't think you would have to worry about, you know, I don't know if that'll work in my journal or not. I was looking at it and looking at my fall papers, and I think it's going to work in there as well. Now I'm going to go ahead and first off, I'm going to go ahead and clip these little edges right here, just so that they don't show on the front. Just clip them back. And then I'm going to go ahead and ink a little bit here, just because some of that will show, and I don't want it to be uninked. I'm going to ink the back of this. Now we're going to put that down just like that. I am going to use, okay, I'm going to use my double-sided adhesive. This is score tape that we have in stock, but you could use just your wet glue if you wanted to. I'm going to use this and a little bit of my glue stick. Now I don't seem to have a 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch in my stash over here, so I'm just going to use a couple of pieces of this. I love using score tape. It is very strong, so when you put some on there, you better make sure you got it where you want it, because you won't be able to get it up without tearing everything to pieces. But it will hold really, really well. And this is usually always linked below, but if you ever see that it's not linked, you can just go to our store and you'll see where it says score tape, and you just click on that, go right to it. Okay, now I put a little bit of glue stick on that as well. That way I can still have a little bit of wiggle room, because I want to make sure I get this down where I want it. But I want a little tiny bit of wiggle room first. Now, like I said, I'm going to keep it away from that. Thinking right there. Yep, that looks pretty good. So then we'll press that down. And there is our little door. Now, we are going to put a little latch on our door so that you can close it or you can open it up. We're also going to add something here. I don't know if we'll add a picture or if we'll just add a pocket. I don't know. I hadn't figured that one out yet. I hadn't thought that far. But also, if you take your bone folder and you really press on that, it's going to lay down nice anyway. But I still want to put a little bit of a closure on there. I thought of something I'm going to try. Don't know if it's going to work, but we'll see. First, I'm going to mark the center of this. We shall see if this works. I know y'all like for me to experiment with you guys, don't you? Don't you? Let's see. So that's the center right there of that piece. Boy, that looks awful low for the center. Let me make sure. It's almost 4. Almost 4. That's it. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little ribbon punch. And let's hope this works. If it doesn't work, you may never see this video. Never, ever, ever. I'll slide that in there, and hopefully I'm getting it slid right up on that dot. Well, I messed up right there. I didn't reset this thing, and it poked the hole too close to the edge. But we'll work with it. We shall work with it. And now I don't know if it's going to poke the hole anywhere near where I need it now. Okay, there we go. We got the hole. I had a little bit of crud in there and it wouldn't let me slide it all the way back, so I got that. But I will put something over that to kind of disguise it, so not going to worry about it. Not going to worry about it. Now, a little bit of ink there. And you know, we may just leave that, and I'll show you why in just a second. Who knows? That might have turned out to be the right thing. Okay, now we're just going to take a piece of this paper and grab my trimmer. And that is about a 1/2 inch wide, I think. Yeah, 1/2 inch will work. So we're going to cut a piece of this that's 1/2 inch. Now let's make sure that will slide through there. Yep, slides through there perfect. So this is going to be the little slide that goes in there to hold that together. And let's see, I'm trying to figure out if I need it doubled. I don't think I do. This is pretty strong, but I don't think I need it that wide either. So, I mean that long, not that wide. That long. So we'll slide that in there, fold that back, and I think I can cut it off a little bit back here. There we go. Okay, now on this back side, I am going to round the corners just a little bit. Just that small little round there. And then on this end, I'm going to round the corners as well. Now we're going to put some ink on there. Now, if you have a thinner paper and you feel like that you need to reinforce this, you can. But see, that's going to cover up that little mess up that I made there. So I'm not going to worry about it. Alright, I'm going to put that through there and then flip that over, and then I'm going to glue right here. And press that down. Okay, now you have a little closure, and you can just lift it out like that, and that opens up. You can close it back up just like that. So there's your little closure. I like that. It worked. It worked. Okay. Just going to put a little bit of ink around the edge of this paper. It's already distressed a little bit, but I'm just going to distress it a little bit more. Alright, now we'll decide what we want. And see, really, if you just pull up on that, it's going to open up. We're going to decide what we want in here. Now, this I'm going to leave for journaling, but this, I'm thinking about putting a pocket here and putting a pretty large tag. I think that would be pretty. Okay, again, I'm going to grab a piece of this paper. I think I'll use that top part right there. And I'm going to mark where I want my pocket. Now, I'm going to make an expandable pocket. That's going to give more room in here. I don't think it's going to hurt anything. So instead of cutting it there, I want to make sure that I cut it an inch wider. So all you need to do to make an expandable pocket is just decide how wide you need it, and then add an inch on that. Decide how tall you need it and add a ½ an inch on. Okay. So I wanted it that tall, which is right at 4, so I'm going to go 4½. And then I wanted it that wide right there where my mark is, which is 4 3/4, so I'm going to go 5 3/4 and cut that. Okay, then we're going to get our little scoreboard here, and I'm going to score at 1/2 inch on the end, 1/2 inch down here, which would be right there, and then on the bottom, which is down here, we're going to score at 1/2 inch. So 1/2 inch on 3 sides, and then go ahead and fold those. Now what we want to do is cut these corners off, and I just cut mine in a little bit of an angle. And sorry about my inky thumbs. I have been doing videos all day, and I get more ink on my thumbs than I do on the paper, I do believe. Okay, so there is our pocket. Let's make sure it fits before we do anything else. Yes. And see, that's what I'm talking about, an expandable pocket. It'll have room in there to put extra items if you want to. And if you don't, that's fine too. It doesn't matter. I think I'm going to round this with my little oval punch, or my big oval punch. Right, we're going to ink this up, and then we're going to add some glue. Now, you can put score tape on here if you want. I'm just going to use wet glue this time. Normally, I do put score tape on it, but this time I'm just going to use my wet glue. It'll work too. And you need to put it on your folds like this. Don't put it on the inside of your folds. Put it on your folds out here. Okay. Then I'm not gonna put it too low because I don't want it to show from the front side. And I don't want it right up against my fold here, so I'm gonna make sure I slide it all the way to the edge of my paper. Make sure that that still folds over, and it does. I don't mind this showing a little bit here, but if you wanted it not to show, just make it a little bit shorter. That's fine. I don't mind it showing because it kind of lets you know there's something behind there. But you can always make it a little shorter. And then you fold that over, and it still closes up. Okay. Now, we are going to make a tag for this, and I may end up reinforcing that since I'm making all of this to go on the inside. Let's just make a tag out of this, And I want to make sure what size tag I'm going to use. Nope, that one's a little small. I'll just measure it this way. I'll do my scientific measuring. I always like to make sure that it fits before I do anything else to it, and it does. And I don't think this is going to need any extra because it's nice and thick. So I think I'll just go ahead and cut it into my tag shape. I'm just going to use my little template here. And now we'll do some inking on it. Cut us a little top there, or add a little topper to it, and this will be finished. I think on this one I'm just going to add one of our whale tail punches. And I'm not sure if I have one that's going to match. If I don't, we can punch one out. It doesn't have to match perfectly, but well, that one might go. Okay, I think I'm going to use this one. It'll go okay. And then that will slide it in there. Okay, I'm going to reinforce this with another little piece of paper. It can be the same or something different. It doesn't matter. Okay, cut this down. I'm going to cut it a little bit shorter than a half because I don't want it to show from the front. All right, and we will just run that right up through there. And then I'll just trim this off. And there we go. We've got that reinforced, just so that it holds that together a little bit better. So that is our door page, and you could do these on 2 or 3 different places in your journal if you want to. It's very simple to make. It's a little door. All right, let's go and make one more. So that's going to go in my journal. All right, for this one, what we're going to do is make a window. We made a door, and now we're going to make a window pocket. Now, I have a piece here that is cut at, let's see, it is cut at 9 3/4 by just a hair over 6 inches. And that's just a little bit bigger all the way around than this. So what I want this to do is go from here over. I want to be able to fold my edges around the page so that the other side will be pretty as well. And then I want to cut out a window here. So let's see if all this works. So I'm just going to kind of half, like where this fold, you know, where this end is here and where this end is. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm just going to kind of mark a little spot there, mark a little spot here. That'll give me about 3/4 of an inch to fold around. And then I'm going to mark on this side where I need to fold that around. Now, you could definitely do your precise measuring and get this exactly, but you know, this is going to be good enough for me. Don't have to be exact. Okay, there and there. So all I did is just put a couple of marks where I want to fold that. What that's going to do is that's going to give me an idea of where I need to cut my window out in here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my scoreboard, and I'm going to score those places, and hopefully I'm going to get them scored correctly. If not, that's okay, we'll score them again. Scoring at that little line, and I'm going to score at that little line, and then let's flip it over so that we can see our other marks. And I think right there is where we'll score that. Okay. Now you don't have to make this where it'll fold around. I don't know. I just thought I would do it. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and fold those up. And no, I did not do a double score on this so it wouldn't crack. I don't think it will. I didn't score very hard, so hopefully it'll be okay. If it's not, we'll put something on there, a little bit of glue or something. Okay, just going to make sure that it kind of sort of fits. Okay, this one needs to be out just a little bit. That's okay. We'll just finger fold it. So I don't want my page to bunch up. Okay. Now I'm going to take my scoreboard and I'm going to bring that little line out just a little bit more. All right, now let's see if it folds around there pretty good. And I know this may be more trouble than anybody wants to go to, but once you get the knack of this, and you could even make a little template, then you could do these in no time flat. Okay, that works. And then that one works, so that's good. Now all we need to do is trim out these little corners. Trim this off a little bit. And trim that corner out. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and fold those and burnish real well so that they'll be ready to go around my page. Now then, now what we're going to do is cut a window out of this. And I know I'm going to cut that flower, but that's okay. I'll do something else with that flower. I'm not going to worry about that part. So I am going to come in 1/2 inch from all sides. So there's 1 inch, not 1/2, 1 inch. Let me look and make sure that's going to be enough. If I come in 1 inch over here, yes, that's going to be plenty. So 1 inch. And I'm just marking some spaces so I'll know where to cut. 1 inch up there. And then I'm going to do 1 inch. And 1 inch. Now I'm going to draw some lines because I definitely want to try to get this as straight as I can. I can't get my head over the thing, so hopefully I'll get that line straight. And I can always erase my pencil marks, so that's not a concern if I get them a little bit too long or a little bit too short. So that's the area that we need to cut out. And yes, it's just going to get that flower cut out, and that's okay. That's okay. Now I'm just going to double check and make sure all of my lines are pretty even before I start cutting. All of them are 1 inch. Now I'm going to use my large trimmer and I'm going to set it in there, cut it down here, and then go across. You could do this freehand if you want to. I'm not good with an X-Acto knife. My hands won't allow me to do that. They are too weak to hold it since I've broke both of them. So I'm just going to do it with my trimmer here. Now I have a rotary trimmer, so it has a blade in it. And it doesn't have that little blade that has a point. It has a round blade, but I think I can still do it. If I leave a little bit at the end, I can always go back and trim that with my scissors. It's easier if you have one of those that has just a little tiny blade in it that has the little point on it, but not to be concerned about that. I think we have just a little piece here and there that we need to cut out. So that, have a little piece right here, and then I'm going to shave this a little bit right here. Okay, that looks good. That is the right size for a tag or something, so we'll put that aside. Now I need to erase all of my pencil marks. All right, now we're going to ink this, and I want to ink it pretty well, and then I'll show you what else we're going to do. All right, we have all of that inked and we're ready to go. I'm just going to do it on the outside here. This one will work. Put it out here. Now I'm going to put a piece of clear vellum in here now. So I've got some here that's almost the right length. Well, actually it is the right length. Just needs to be cut off a little bit. So I'm just going to mark where I want to cut it. Now, you don't have to run it all the way up to here. I'm just going to leave that because it's already cut, so I'm not going to worry about cutting it off anymore. Down here, I'm just going to make sure that it's not going to bow any at all. Make sure it's not too long because you don't want any ripples in it. Okay, that looks good. Now I'm going to grab my Barely Arts glue, and good news, Barely Arts glue shipment is on the way. Thank goodness. This is all I have, and I know a lot of people have been contacting me saying they're out and they want more before winter rolls around, which now this glue can ship year round. You do not have to worry about, you know, grabbing it in time for winter. This can ship in the winter time, so just don't worry about that part. But I did get quite a large shipment today when I purchased, so we should be good to go. Now, I'm not putting it up too close to here because I don't want it to seep through to the front. And I may stitch this, so I'm just trying to think ahead. Okay, now, what you want to do when you put this Barely Arts down in a big area like this, you want to take your tool, any kind of tool that you can press on here. I use my bone folder, and I pull it out away from the opening, and you can see it right now, but when it dries it'll be good to go. Which, you know, I'm not worried about seeing the back of this because this is going to be glued down. So there is our window. I love it. I love creating unusual things like this. I don't know about anybody else, and I don't, you know, somebody might have done this already. I don't know. I haven't seen one done like this. I got the inspiration actually off of a video that I watched last night, and it wasn't even YouTube. It was something else that I watched, and it was a little girl creating a little house, and she did her little windows like this, and I thought, oh, that would be cute for a journal page. You know, you can get inspiration from a lot of different places, so just keep your eyes open and your mind alert and open. All right, that's going to go just like that. Now, we need to decide what we want to put in behind this. There's another thing that you could do, and I just thought about it because this is the first time I've made this. You could leave this side open. Don't put this little flap on it. Leave that open, and you could tuck some things under there. You could tuck up a photo or whatever under there if you wanted to. I'm going to put whatever I'm going to put it down there now and glue it. Then that way this will just be closed. And you know, we could just use that piece. Let's just slide it up under there and see. We might need to use one that's a little bigger. I don't know. Look at that. I think I'm going to do it. Okay. Now I need to make sure that I get this in the right place. So I'm going to line it up while I've got my page here. Now if you weren't using a little piece that was already cut out, you could just slide a piece up under there without any issues. But since I'm using one that's already cut and I want to get it exact so that any background doesn't show, I'm going to do it that way. Now, I'm going to hold that right there. I'm not going to ink around this because I have that other part inked around. I'm going to glue that, flip this one up, and glue this one. And I'm going to try it before I put any more glue on it. Just want to make sure that I didn't let it slip. Once I find out I didn't let it slip, then we'll make sure that we glue everything down. Yeah, I think that's good. My little leaves come out in the same place. See, there's a little leaf right there, and there's that. So I'm going to put more glue under it just so that it doesn't move at all. But again, you could make this piece right here into a pocket and just slide big tags or something up under there. That would be pretty. All right, there we go. Now, we are ready to put this on and fold it around. All right, once you get it slid up to where you need it, you're ready to glue. Just looking at all sides and making sure that I've got it slid evenly all the way around. It looks like I do. And then I'm going to flip it back over and look at that one more time. That looks pretty good. So we're ready to glue. Now, I probably should have inked that before I glued it down. I didn't, but that's okay. We're going to go with it. I'll probably add something else to this side anyway. So I'm not to worry. Okay, I put a little glue on it, then I'm just going to double check again. I'd rather check and be sure as to glue everything down and then it not work. Right? Right. Okay, that looks fine. So we'll finish adding our glue. And I'm just going to press that down real well. And there we go. There is our page. Now, this is open, but that's going to be stitched into the signature, so I don't know that you could slide anything in there since that's going to be in the signature like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue this little part down. But like I said, you can leave that other side open. I probably will. Another one that I make, I'll just leave that other side open. And then I can slide larger tags or whatever in there. Okay, go around with my bone folder one more time. I just find it helps make everything lay down nice and flat. And there you go. There is a window page. And then on this side, you've got a little framed out page. And you could put whatever you wanted to on here. You wouldn't have to leave it that way. But I think that's cute. Let's put a word or something on here. Let's see what words I have right here with me. This one, I'm going to use this little branch, that, and then I just need a word to put on there. Or phrase. Let's see, what about one of Tracy's labels? And it says branch. We could put it right there. Okay, let's do this first. I'm going to ink all around this because it has a little white edge to it. Just want to get rid of that. Right, I am going to put a little piece of lace, just scrap lace that I have, down in the center of that doily. So first off, we'll glue the doily down. Then I'm just going to take this little piece of scrap lace and just kind of fold it like a little banner type thing. And spread it out a little bit. Then we'll bring our little label in there and let's do our little butterfly. This is one of the washi butterflies that we sold. I don't think we have any more of these right now, but we have more coming soon. These sell out so quick. Okay, we're going to put it kind of like that. And then I'm going to make sure I press it in so I get rid of a lot of that white around the edges. Then we can put this little piece down. Ooh. Now I'm putting it down with this just because it's seeping out, but you can put it down with just regular glue. You don't have to use this. I want that to come about right there, and I'll trim those excess little leaves off of there. So I'm going to trim that right at the edge, and we're going to bring it up here and put it down. Or maybe on this side over here. This side doesn't have anything. So we'll put it right there to look like that it's got one of those little branches kind of coming in. And then we'll trim this one off. Do the same thing. Now we need to ink right at the edge of that. Trim a little tiny bit right here off. And ink where these are coming in so it looks like they're supposed to be there. And I think that's it. I think that's all I'll do to it right now. I may, you know, when I put it in my journal, who knows? I may do something different, but I like that just as is. Well, I do want a little bit of bling there, don't I? Yeah, why not? Okay. Let's grab a piece of this. Alright, so there we go. That is another page. So we have a door page and a window page. Let's grab our door page back out here. Okay, there are 2 new page ideas for you, the door and the window. I hope you'll give these a try. If you do, make sure that you share it over on our Facebook group. That link is directly below. And we will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Bye-bye.